Hey friends, hey, how's it going? Whoa. How are you doing, Sea Dog? Damn, this thing is quiet when the game's not playing. Hey, welcome. Nice to see you. We're gonna jump straight into this. Basically, I had started playing through the Half-Life series, I believe last year, maybe a year and a half ago. But yeah, it was my first time playing any of the Half-Life games. I started with Half-Life 2, and then we played Half-Life Episode 1, 2, and then went back and played Half-Life 1. And there was a couple of these little ones that I did not play yet, including Lost Coast. And then I still haven't played a couple others. I'm not sure if we'll be playing every single one of them. However, today I figured we should definitely give this one a whirl. Half-Life 2 Lost Coast. I have heard good things about it, so let me just get the cat situated. Looks like she wants to hang out right here. Cool. So Half-Life is not necessarily an easy game. This is my first time actually playing through a game of its type. It was probably actually the very first FPS game that I played all the way through. Right now the cat is obsessed with my glass of iced water. She's got fresh food. I just fed her and everything. What she really wants is this delicious frosty ice water. Hell yeah, new game. We haven't ever started this game at all. So wish me luck. I did this video stress test a moment ago. I do like that there's commentary that we could choose from, because this is like commentary from people that actually worked at Valve. So just press a node to turn it on or off. A balloon icon. I can think of a few people who would appreciate that. Yay, thanks for stopping by, Sea Dog. You're my first chatter today. I did not announce this except for in my own Discord. Alright, cool. So I heard some things about this Lost Coast, that it's a tech demo or something. Hover over the bubbles, it said, right? With my gravity gun?
Hi, this is Gabe Newell, and welcome to the Lost Coast.
Gabe
In this
Newell!
tour, we're going to be talking about a new graphics technology we've been developing called High Dynamic Range, or HDR. We'll also be giving you some insight into the design and production challenges we faced during the construction of the Lost Coast. First, a quick explanation of the commentary system. To listen to a commentary node, put your crosshair over the floating commentary symbol and press your use key.
That's how he just opened up his bubble.
Put your crosshair over the rotating node and press your use key again.
Oh, so it's
Some
like a
commentary nodes may
toggle
take
system.
control of the game for the purpose of showing something to you. In these cases, simply pressing your use key will stop the commentary.
I'm pretty excited about this. I did always want to just take a closer look at Half-Life 2, especially in the ones that came after it. I was reading some of the reviews on the Steam pages for Half-Life, and I was like, well, because I was trying to make sure that I knew what, in what order I was playing the games, and like, so if I chose to play this today, which we did, which we are right now, that we would know like in what order this Lost Coast.
With conventional rendering, seen here on the left, if something on the screen is 20% reflective, like the wet sand, then the maximum reflected brightness could only be 20% of the maximum brightness of your monitor. HDR's more accurate simulation of light ensures that the sun's reflection on this wet sand appears as it would in the real world, which could potentially use 100% of the maximum monitor brightness. HDR uses bloom to simulate light that is beyond 100% of a monitor's maximum brightness.
He sounds tired reading it. He's like, back then when they were like first like implementing things like bloom and HDR, were they the very first ones to do HDR in video games? I'm not even totally sure. Hey Beastly God, what's up? Welcome. We're learning about
The
Half-Life.
process of building characters in Half-Life 2 taught us many things. By the end, we believed we'd figured out a more effective process for designing and constructing characters. This fisherman is the first character we built using that process. Design-wise, the fisherman was focused on showcasing HDR and the way light falls on human skin. The highlights on his forehead and nose are good examples of specularity on human skin. You can see how the wrinkles on his cheeks and around his eyes are an example of how we can use normal maps to add depth. Production-wise, the fisherman was built using a similar process to the rocks you saw on the beach. We model the 3D character at a very high detail, then extract much of the physical information and store it in the textures.
Hey, you there?
Hi.
Wait a minute now, aren't you? You are.
Manny.
You're that scientist chap, Friedman, Fishman, am I right? You must be here to take on the Combine. Not sure what one man can do, but no other reason to visit St. Olga at a time like this. I'll take you to where they made their base, or as far as I can, at any rate.
I love how his voice echoes, but rightfully so, because of these like super tall mountains that were betwixt. Oh my god, the cat, of course. She always wants to sit down. Right when we start streaming, look at how perfectly adorable she is. Oh my god. Hell yeah, what do you think about that cat action? Hi, girl. Cute, Manny. What an adorable emote there. Looks like that cat's either in a bathtub or a sink, but either way, so cute. I don't think Commander Keen had HDR.
Here,
Water
Right.
presents us with
Just
a lot of
unlock
rendering
this gate
challenges.
for you.
Hold on. This guy started talking right when I
Got
pressed the
key
bubble.
Right here.
You do? You got the key? This is the first character
go.
that they made in
Get
HDR.
along now, laddie. Destroy that gun and no dawdling.
Oh, we can play, and there's so much commentary. Let's learn more first, real quick.
Water presents us with a lot of rendering challenges. In fact, we have to render the scene 3 times. Once for the refraction of what's under the water, once for the reflection of everything above the water, and once from the player's view. You can see the
No
reflection and
way.
refraction scenes in the 2 small windows on screen. In the refraction, we calculate per pixel how much water you're looking through to do a volumetric underwater fog to simulate
A
particulate matter.
bowl. Cute.
For our full HDR solution, we had to go through the entire engine and modify every bit of code that calculated light and color. For example, these water reflection and refraction renderings had to be improved to support the full range of contrast values.
Get going.
Hold on, I wasn't done making sure that I got all these bubbles, and I was trying to hear what he said about the
The
fisherman again.
process of building characters in Half-Life 2 taught us many things. By the end, we believed we'd figured out a more effective process for designing and constructing characters. This fisherman is the first character we built using that process. Design-wise, the fisherman was focused on showcasing HDR and the way light falls on human skin. The highlights on his forehead and nose are good examples of specularity on human skin. You can see how the wrinkles on his cheeks and around his eyes are an example of how we can use normal maps to add depth. Production-wise, the fisherman was built using a similar process to the rocks you saw on the beach. We model the 3D character at a very high detail, then extract much of the physical information and store it in the textures.
There's a path up the cliff. Step lightly now.
I missed the gravity gun. I guess we'll play Portal eventually. I haven't played that. I played like a little bit, but not from the beginning and not on stream yet, so. It'd be cool to play Portal.
There's a path up the cliff. Step lightly now.
Oh my god, I missed Half-Life, guys, like so badly.
Go on through, man.
I mean, not everybody is into games that are this old, but I am totally into like learning about the history of games, and
Hurry, lad. Get up the path.
probably partially because I started with Half-Life 2. I like quickly fell in love with it. I'm like, obviously this is what all the hype is about. Fucking Half-Life is so cool. I don't know. It's like I can imagine that all the time. I imagine what it must be like to work at Valve. But there's probably so many people who like, whoa, this dead body just flung itself at me. Yes, fucker. Oh no. Fuck. No, no, girl. Now she's stepping on my keyboard. Come on, dude, no. She gets really obsessed with, like, eating my water. Dude, she always gets her own fresh water. It's, like, no more than 10 feet away, right there in the kitchen. I'm like, that's a girl. Now she's, like, laying up against me. That's more like it. Let's remember what it's like to kick ass in Half-Life. Ah! Alice will be 14 in April. Right, girl? 14, because she was 13 last year. She's 13 and a half right now. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, God. I'm not sure where we're going. But we're gonna find out. I miss dying in Half-Life. God, it feels good to be home. I've never seen that death screen, dude. Pink and red square, like rectangles. Candy Cookies Comedy, cute name. The kitty is like just below the camera now. Is this like supposed to be like this? This pink and like red death screen? Dude, do you have to like restart the game? Like, is this like it crashing or? Crazy. Alright, escape brings us here to purple and black. This is actually crazy, dudes. Resume the game, I guess. Loading? Okay. Oh no! Fucking it. Hi, kitty! Oh no. Hold on, you guys can see this cat. Booyah! Alright, we got me and the cat. I love my life. Hell yeah, fucking gravity gun. It's been too long, dude. Christmas around the corner. It's time to play with some gravity gun action. If I was anyone, I would spend my Christmas playing Half-Life. I think that's what I was doing last year. Nothing's changed about this year except that I'm playing more Half-Life. So that hasn't changed. I don't know. A lot of these are sometimes literally timed, and you better hurry up. Oh, look at her! Oh my god! There's my other half. There she is. Dude, this is the craziest death screen I've ever seen for Half-Life. Damn it, dudes. Alright, let's look around. Let's try to, like, not miss anything. Sometimes you'll need things like this right here. So you better watch out. One thing I'd have to say is that, one moment, sometimes you need things like this. Fuck up. Alright. Girl. She really wants my ice water because she knows how good it is. I gave her fresh everything right before I started streaming. Just like I always do, yes. Alright, girl. Settle down. Like, now she wants to eat me. Look what she's doing, dudes. Guys, in case you weren't here yesterday, I can, well, the cat wants to eat me anyway. I might as well show you this pillow. Because the cat is trying to, like, bite my hand while I'm trying to play. But literally, because for yesterday was my birthday, and my best friend, Roxy, made me this custom pillow that's got a picture of literally my cat on it. With the name of the cat, Alice the Wonder Cat right here. And it's like, at first you couldn't even tell, and I thought it was just sequins, because see, when it's like one direction, it just looks like it, well, I guess actually with this angle, with that light, you can kind of see through it, but it looked totally gold to me when I first opened up the packaging, and then when you like, go like that, then you can totally see it with the white background, and it's just so cute! Now Alice has her own pillow. For when she won't sit in front of the cat cam. Yeah, we opened that on stream last night because my friend Roxy, and she like had wrapped it up and like sent it to me. Anyway, we'll just leave that pillow right there because Alice is always wanting to bite my hand off. Alright. If anyone asks, that is a sequin pillow of my cat back there. Hell yeah, dudes. Back in the day when you could just walk over stuff and like it'll just pick itself up. You don't have to like power up or like do a microtransaction to be able to like automatically suck up your loot. I think those ones are regular, but damn, dudes. Alright, hold on. Oh god, help us all. I think that part might be the time part. I don't remember doing this before, so if Lost Coast is the exact same or not of these other games, I'm not sure. FML. I don't even know. Crazy dudes, that loading screen. Oh my god. Alright. Fucking crossbow, dude. Oh, the cat's being so adorable. This part right here is probably the part that is like, dude, where's my good old fashioned, there it is, crowbar. So I don't waste my bullets opening that stuff. Alright, that seems to like always break off. I'm scared. I think we go down. Wait. I like fell on health. Nice.
Automatic medical systems engaged.
Oh my god.
Morphine administered.
Alright, we came from down there originally. It's been a long time, honestly, since I played Half-Life. At least a year. But we played Half-Life, all my first times with Half-Life were all live on stream. Is there a way to grab onto that is what I really want to know. Crazy, man. Gotcha. I love this rocket launcher. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure that I got like my chat up on a secondary monitor because I have my Streamlabs OBS open, but once in a while I'll notice that. Oh hey Garrett, what's up, friend? Thanks for saying something. I started to worry that my chat wasn't updating. Once in a while that has happened. Oh my god, the cat's so adorable. I love this rocket launcher too because you can shoot it and then point with it to... Anyway, you can shoot and point to aim with like where it winds up. Probably out of that shit. Oh, yeah, buddy. Fuck off. Oh my god. I thought that the scroll wheel works, but it doesn't select. You gotta like click on the left button to select. Good to be back in action. This is it's Lost Coast, made with Source. Was it called Source Engine? Or the same engine that Counter-Strike was made with. Kitty is really wanting to be totally all up in my game right now, which is dream come true. Don't eat that, girl. I'm trying to eat a sticker. Weirdo. She'll eat the weirdest shit. Look at how much better I was than the first time I ever played this shit, remember? Remember how so hard it was for me? The commentary version, yeah, I figured, and the first one was Gabe Newell literally talking to us, so I'll definitely be clicking on those. I'll be clicking on those all the time. One of the guys sounded really tired. And Gabe Newell, it was like nice to hear him speaking. Keyboard cat. And pillow cat, dudes. That's my pussy pillow back there. My friend made me this like custom pillow with a picture of my cat on it. But it's not just a picture of my cat, it's like sequins with my cat. Yeah, fucker. Yes. After all those like times playing all the other Half-Lives that I played, finally now I can kind of like tell, you know, like, oh, that's like actually a path up a fucking road. That's a path up a mountain or whatever, you know. Like the first few times though, it's like once you like
One of the features of our HDR solution is dynamic tone mapping. The easiest way to think about dynamic tone mapping is that it's a method of simulating the way the human eye reacts to light. In the real world, you've probably walked into a dark room and noticed your eye adjusting to the darkness, letting you see better after some time. Or you've walked out into a bright day and been blinded by the sun, only to have your eye adjust and allow you to see normally. Your iris is adjusting itself in response to the amount of light hitting your eye.
They're all talking about
Dynamic
the
tone
HDR
mapping
and stuff.
simulates this by automatically adjusting the exposure of the scene to mimic the behavior of your iris. You can see this as the view moves from the dark tunnel to the bright sun and back again. Here, you can see the way we calculate the amount of light hitting the player's eyes. We take a snapshot of the scene, measure the brightness levels, and then use that to adjust exposure. We consider light at the center of the screen more important than at the edges to better simulate the geometry of the eye.
That guy's name is Chris Green. I wonder, like, all the different parts that he played at Valve during the making of this, because we should follow him. We should follow all these commentators on Twitter. Chris Green.
The courtyard in front of you is a space we call an arena. Arenas are built to hold the player for a period of time and usually contain combat or some other challenge. They often have multiple entry points for enemies, along with a gate of
multiple
some kind
entry
to prevent
points.
the player moving on until the challenge has been completed. In this case, the arena is free of enemies until the player solves a puzzle and triggers an alarm. This is a method that allows the player to explore the arena and get a sense of its space before being forced to fight in it. It adds a sense of uneasiness to the player who's expecting to be attacked now that they've reached the goal set for them at the start of the map. The break in the action here is also a crucial part of the level's pacing. It allows the player to recover and
pacing.
explore the world a little after being attacked on the way up the cliffside.
I like get to explore after being attacked. Martian Games told me all about that. How like sometimes when you'll have a huge like, you know, a fight scene, and then usually the game usually games will give you a break after that and let
The
you
courtyard
explore.
in front of you is a space we call an arena.
An
Arenas
arena.
are built to hold the player for a period of time and usually contain combat or some other challenge. They often
Combat
have
and
multiple entry
challenge.
points for enemies,
Alright.
along with a gate of some kind to prevent the player moving on until the challenge has been completed. In this case, the arena is free of enemies until...
Sorry, I had missed that first part. Alright, we listen to that first part again. Hey, thank you for the host, Garrett. Whenever it's like my birthday week or my birthday month, I always feel entitled. Me feeling entitled. I feel entitled to like feel just selfish. I want to play Half-Life, dude. I'm gonna play Half-Life, dude. You only live once, you
The
know?
Source Engine supports a wide
Source
variety
engine.
of shaders. The refraction
Shaders.
shader on the window here requires us to copy the scene to a texture, refract it, and then apply it to the window surface.
Refraction
To
shader.
fully support HDR, every shader in the engine needed to be updated. So this refraction shader was improved to support the full range of contrast. If you viewed the sun through this window, it would
A
be
refraction
refracted
shader
correctly.
on this window. Let me in! Hell yeah, I didn't have to ask twice. What are we like now in a church or something? A synagogue?
We wanted to transition from a bright, wide-open space into a tighter, closed one to showcase HDR's dynamic tone mapping.
So cool.
We also like to focus on contrasting elements in our settings, like ancient human architecture and futuristic combine technology. A monastery fit these requirements perfectly. Monasteries are generally
Monastery.
isolated, unlit, and built ages ago. They provide
Oh,
a great
yeah.
backdrop for the contrasting
Pretty.
combine technology. When we build fictional settings, we try to ground them by basing them off a real-world location. We use this location as a design constraint that forces a logical consistency behind the art choices. Churches are great dramatic spaces. They're often lit naturally with extremes of darkness and brightness, which makes them a great showcase for HDR. Gothic churches are the sober monochromatic spaces that you've seen in almost every horror movie or game. Byzantine churches, on the other hand, are very colorful and have a large variety of materials. We wanted that color and material variety to show off our HDR reflections.
Hell yeah, Garrett. This is the version where we turned on commentary. So there's all these little bubbles everywhere, and so I'm going to be clicking on the bubbles every so often. Because I played through quite a few of the old school Half-Life games. I have not played this version yet, the Lost Coast, which is a tech demo. And this version also has the commentary, and I was like really curious what they had to say, because last year one of the coolest things we got to do was go on a tour of Valve in Bellevue, Washington. And we actually got to like go to the studio that made Half-Life. And I had already been studying Half-Life, but I've been wanting to play all the other stuff that I
Our
hadn't
games
played.
are filled with things we call gates, which are essentially just challenges that the player must overcome to drive the experience forward. We used a puzzle here since the player has been through combat and exploration recently. When we design challenges, we try to ensure that the player's goal and the action required by the player are both fun. It's not hard to create interesting goals for the player, like stopping this machine from shelling the nearby village, but the action required by the player to solve the challenge needs to be fun as well. So instead of something menial, such as hitting an off switch, the player gets to use physics to jam the gun's mechanism and cause it to break.
Thanks for the tip, commentator. I have to jam it to cause it to break. Alright, with what? With my gravity gun, I bet? Whoa. The gravity gun was and will always be one of my favorite things. It's like once you go gravity gun, you don't ever go back. Ugh. What? Oh yeah, buddy, knocking that shit off. Dude, there's like so many parts in Half-Life where I was just like, I have no idea what to do. But like after playing like Half-Life 2, 1, and episode 1 and 2, I have like a way better idea. Like the way we knocked off those doors, I swear to God, it took me hours to figure out a similar puzzle in the last I think it was like actually at the end of episode 2. I don't know, it was the one where you have to like knock off the like shield, those little like arm things. So something about, but see, even like had that commentator not mentioned it, I probably wouldn't even think to jam something in there, so. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I've never played this type before. Oh, stick the shells in. Oh god. Fuck that head crab. I love getting chased by head crabs, dude. They're so fucked up. These things they'll kill you, dude. They'll kill you. Oh my god, the secondary weapon. Why doesn't every game have a secondary weapon? For when you run out or you remember to like hit like the right mouse button and you like actually like, alright, we're at full health right now. We're actually doing pretty well. I heard that this is like partially just like a tech demo. So a lot of this I think is crouch. I'm pretty sure I have some bombs somewhere. Oh my god. Look at me go. Oh, I don't want to die, dude. I've got all this. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Hell yeah, dude. It feels better to be back in Half-Life. Way better than real life problems. In Half-Life, I always have that feeling of escapism where it's like totally taking me out of real life into like this other actual story-based like real fighter game where like you really are like fending for your life and like running and like struggling to stay alive. Oh yeah, Garrett, have you ever played any of the Half-Life games? Or have you played Portal or Dota 2, I believe? There's actually like quite a few games that Valve came out with. But they also were the creators of Steam, so at a certain point I heard that they were spending more time building the Steam platform for indie or for other developers to release their games through Steam. Even we got to release a game on Steam. I say we is like my partner and the publishers, and it was like our first game on Steam.
Wide open space into a tighter, closed one to showcase HDR's dynamic tone mapping. We also like to focus on contrasting elements in our settings, like ancient human architecture and futuristic combine technology. A monastery fit these requirements perfectly. Monasteries are generally isolated, unlit, and built ages ago. They provide a great backdrop for the contrasting combine technology. When we build fictional settings, we try to ground them by basing them off a real-world location. We use this location as a design constraint that forces a logical consistency behind the art choices.
I feel like the fights are fair too. Like I can shoot several times and vice versa before anyone actually goes down. Unlike in Fortnite, for example, where you get hit once and you're fucking dead, dude. If you're lucky, your partner will come and save your ass. Hey there, Mons. What's up? Hey, thank you for the lurks, friend. Appreciate that. Yay. Yeah, we're celebrating birthday month, so I'm actually just drinking water right now, though. Cheers. I like the winter months for experimenting with like winter fashion. With like my inner love of wearing black and all shades of black and gray. Charcoal gray and black and stuff. Ah! Have you guys ever played this game? Any of the Half-Life games? You stick to Xbox and car games? Do you play web games, Garrett?
We wanted
Because
to transition from a bright, wide open space
Oh,
into a
sorry.
tighter, closed one.
I already listened to that earlier. We were like running for our lives. And it shows you red, like blood, on whichever side of the screen it's coming from. I mean, they do that in Assassin's Creed too, but... Fuck off. How do I get up there? I love the gravity of these things. Like these, you just knock them over, just like actual gravity would have it. So we stopped that thing. Those guys came at us. I feel like there's some way to get upstairs, but I'm not sure what it is yet. So. Like web games, like games that you can play in the browser, like on a computer. And a lot of the times, anyway, it's because Martian Games, he made a really cool racing games called Motor Wars 2. And on MartianGames.com, you can find links for Motor Wars 2. And that's the indie game studio that I work at is Martian Games. If you like racing games, you can only play it in the browser though. It's like usually in like Firefox or Chrome. Damn it, I'm still not really sure how to get upstairs. Hey Freakset, what's up? Thanks for stopping by the stream. Oh my, alright, here it is, here it is, here it is. I don't think I actually need to do that. Are these like for the rocket launchers? Sometimes that means that there's something that we need to get with this wonderful rocket launcher. Look at all this ammo for the rocket launcher. This one's Lost Coast. I had never played Lost Coast, but I don't know. I think I may have met you back when I was playing the other Half-Lives. I played number 2, number 1, and also episode 1 and 2. I had not played this one, or there was a couple others that I was thinking about playing. Opposing Force, and there's like another one. There's at least 1 or 2 other ones that looks like I wanted to play them. I'm really glad that we chose this one too, though, because this one's like Opposing Force is before Half-Life 2, but this one's after Half-Life 2. Oh my god. I know how to do this, dudes. Whoa! I just crashed into the wall right there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dudes. You see that? First time I had to take down a helicopter in Half-Life, you know how long it took me? Ages. It only took me like a minute. Hell yeah, dudes. We're learning in life. Not just the coordination skill, but like the... You gotta know the way. Alright. Where were we?
This marks the end of the Lost Coast tour.
It is?
This has been an experiment
Oh, that's the
on our
end.
part to see if our community would find it interesting to learn more about our development process.
It was very
As
interesting.
always, we're interested in your feedback. I can
I
be
loved
reached at
it.
Gaben,
This-
G-A-B-E-N,
this is Gabe's
at
actual
valvesoftware.com.
email.
If people like this,
Are you
we'll
serious?
keep producing this kind of content for all of our games going forward.
He just
Thanks
gave
for
us his
listening.
personal email address. Did you get that, everyone? Hell yeah, dudes. I can't believe that Gabe Newell just gave us his own personal email address. That's like an open invitation. To email Gabe Newell and tell him how much we love this game. Give him a piece of your mind. I love Valve. They're so cool. We haven't even played Portal yet. You have a lot to get off your chest. I know, he's probably like since wished he hadn't said that in this game. That was the end of the demo tour. This was like when HDR first started to come out, and like the bloom effect was like first time probably it like was like coming out. Yep, we already took down the helicopter in like a minute. I know, I'm gonna at least start over with number 2. I can hear all these enemies in the background, but I don't think there's any way to get out. Alright, let's just, that was it. Was that really it? I heard it was short, but I didn't realize.